Alright guys, so I need to go get a... Ooh. Whoa. Hey guys, welcome back to George's channel. Today I'm going to be helping out my friend Robbie. We're going to install his high pressure fuel pump, and he ended up going for the Autotech fuel pump internals. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. I didn't show you guys mine because I don't know why I didn't record mine when I did mine, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do them on his car. So let's get to it and let's get started. Okay, so the tools you're going to need, I have a 10, actually I have my socket set which I picked up from Harbor Freight, and this is going to be a 3/4 inch ratchet set, and then I have a 18mm because this is going to be the nut for the high pressure fuel pump nut that you got to use, and you're going to need a ratchet. Well, I'm using this one because I like to have extra tools to make it more easier for myself. This is actually a 1/2 inch. And then you're gonna need a drill. I have pliers here to take off the tabs and whatnot. A breaker bar, just to help us remove the high pressure fuel pump as well. And then you need your E8, and I purchased this set at Harbor Freight as well. So you're gonna need that E8 socket, which is right here. I have a swivel socket with this 1/8 ratchet, along with a 12mm for the intercooler bolts. And I'm going to be removing the intercooler, that way I have more room. You don't have to, but I like to do that just because it's me. And that's pretty much it. You might want to actually go ahead and grab some rags, because you might spill fuel. Depending if you want to take off the relay or not. Go ahead and grab some gloves too, because it's going to get a little messy. Just put these babies in because he needs them. Okay, so remove these two 10mm bolts. Yeah. So we took off the intercooler cover. We're going to take off these 3 bolts. There's this one right here, this one right here, and then there's one back here. And these are going to be taken off with a 12mm socket. So let's go ahead and take these off. One right here. So we took off the 3 screws on this side. We're going to have to take off this hose right here that runs to the BPV, the bypass valve. So let's go ahead and take this off. And then with a 10mm, you gotta take this bolt down here. And then after you take this one off, you want to go ahead and take this hose over here off. And I'm only doing this because I want to just have extra room. That's just me. You don't have to do this, but if you want to, just keep on following these steps. And there's going to be a 10mm as well. And then after you take this bolt off, you want to go ahead and there's a clamp right here that sits up here. You take this clamp, turn it off. It's fine. You take this clamp right here and you use a needle nose, and then you just press. Press down on these 2 little tabs right here, and it squishes down the clamp, and then you just push it down, and then you remove this hose. After you do that, he has an aftermarket intake, so we're gonna have to just take this hose off. You gotta take this hose off. Okay, after you take that hose off, you take the MAF sensor connection, and you take this off. You unclip it, take it off, and let me go ahead and take all this off, and then I'll get back to you on the next step. Alright, so we got the intercooler out, we got all those hoses off, all these clamps off, mass sensor connection off. Now we're going to want to take off the battery and the battery tray and the ECU. We got to take it off. So here's this side. Now his is broken, but what you would do is you get like a flathead and it has like a little tab underneath. You want to go ahead and push it and then it'll just pop right off just like that. So let's put this down and let's go ahead and take off the battery. Let's disconnect the battery actually. Okay, so your battery has 2 bolts, one right here, one over here. He doesn't have them, but there should be 2 bolts in this area. And I just realized that I forgot to take off the fuel relay. You have these connections for the ECU. So you use a flathead and then you put it in between here. It has like a little tab. You push it in and then you pull up and it allows you to move it up just like that. And then you hear that click that it just did. Just like that. Unplug them. And then there's like little tabs down here, but I'll go ahead and show you in a few. Let's just go ahead and take off these bolts inside the tray. So you have this bolt in here. You're gonna have this one that's sitting right here, and then there's another one in this area, and there's one more right here. Now, before you do that, go ahead and use your needle nose pliers, and you have these little tabs behind here. Watch, come over here. You have these little tabs right here. I don't think you can see them, but they're connected, or they're connected to the hoses or these wire harnesses, and they're just little tabs here that just help hold it in place. So what you do is you use the needle nose, and it has like little small tabs here. I don't know why I call everything tabs, but you just press down on it, and then as you press down on it, you want to go ahead and give it a push or a pull. Give it a push or a pull. That way it slides right out, just like that. Same for the other one. Okay, so we took off his intake. Now what you want to go ahead and do is on the battery tray, you lift this up and then you kind of bend it in, that way it comes off. And then this bracket right here, there's this little tab as well. You just slide this in, just like that, like so. You want to go ahead and slide it out just like that. You want to go ahead and kind of move the wires out, like bring it out sideways, I guess, if that makes sense. That way this isn't in the way. Move all this wiring off, and we're going to go ahead and take off these bolts right here to take off this whole tray along with the ECU. Okay, so we took off the battery tray and the ECU along with it. Now we're going to go ahead and take off the inlet pipe. He still has the stock one actually, so there's a little piece right here. There's this piece right here that's connected to this. It's the same one. It's the same kind of tab as the one from the battery tray. Just push on it and pull as you're doing that. And then back here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You see? I don't think you can see it. So back here, as I was saying, you need to get to this bolt right here, which is right here. Oh, there. I think you can see the screw, but that screw is holding the inlet pipe to the turbo. You need to take this clamp off right here. This is towards a clamp, so you unscrew that. It should be a 10mm as well. Oh wait, actually, almost forgot. Okay, so you gotta take this hose off right here, and it's connected to the inlet as well. This one you want to be very careful. I'm gonna actually spray some WD-40 on this That's why it's very easier to take this off, because I've heard these are actually have the tendency of breaking. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray some WD-40. If you want to pass me a WD-40. So I have this WD-40 with a little long straw. And I'm just gonna spray it on this. I like to be extra safe than sorry, so we're gonna go ahead and wait for that to kind of soak in. Okay, so we took off the inlet. I ended up using a Phillips head screwdriver to take off the clamp on the inlet pipe to the turbo because I didn't have the other extension on me. So it worked out fine. And then so you see this part, I've heard that this thing actually breaks off, so that's why I put WD-40. That way it kind of gives it some lubrication. And it slid right off, which is awesome. So now from this point on, you gotta take these two nuts off right here to this bracket to 10. So you take these two nuts off here. You want to be careful because these I've actually dropped mine before, but I found it somehow. So this bracket comes off just like that. Just move it over. So this is where the rags are gonna come into play. So you see. So you need to put a rag. Well, what I did is I put a rag around this, just like around it like that. That way this nut doesn't fall down, because it does fall down. So you want to go ahead and do that. And I believe this is a 19 millimeter, and then the top one is a 17. They say you need to keep a 17 up here so that it doesn't slip or move. But I didn't even use one for mine. So I'm just gonna try to loosen this down to take this pump out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab it from the corner like this, and then kind of do this to this, or do this to this. I don't know if that makes sense. And I'm just gonna slide it over here, just around town, with like a little weak knot on it. It's the same thing I did to mine, so if it worked on mine, it'll work on yours. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but this is what I did. That way it doesn't slide out. And you can take this bolt out. So before I do that, I'm just gonna take the lines off the top, which is gonna be these two lines right here. These are your fuel lines for the fuel pump. Or the high pressure fuel pump, I should say. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that. Alright, so I put rags around it because I like to be nice and clean. So I have this, I have a smaller flathead. I actually got this at the 99-cent store, believe it or not. And I got this angle needle. I don't know what you call this.
I think you would call it angle needle.
I think angle needle's okay. So, go over here. So we're gonna go ahead and first start off with this yellow one. You see this indentation right here? You slide in the flathead, and what you want to do is you want to go ahead and twist it. And these are gonna be a little tricky. You don't want the collars, these collars, to slide completely off. Otherwise it's gonna be kind of hard. Like right now it just slid off all the way, but I know how to fix that. I'll show you once we put everything back together. But you just want to go ahead and wiggle it out, and you are gonna have fuel coming out. So we didn't take off the fuel relay and turn on the car because I totally forgot about that. But here's that. So there's some fuel. Oh, I almost forgot about this. You have to remove this sensor here. Hold this. I totally forgot about this thing. There we go. This is kind of tricky. You want to get in between and kind of pull on this collar. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I did the same thing and pulled on it as I had it out with my finger, just like that. And there you go, it just comes right off. There's that. So you have those two lines off, you have the sensor off. Now what you want to go ahead and do is take off these 3 screws. There's one right here, and there's this one right here, right there. Before you take those off, actually, you want to go ahead and start removing that nut. That way it alright guys, so I need to go get a whoa that was a good catch. Alright guys, so we need to go get a wrench to take off that 19mm bolt. I actually forgot mine and I lived too far to go get it. So we're gonna go to AutoZone probably and see if we can get one and then return it. So okay, so we ended up using one of these, the crescent wrench, I believe they're called. So we found one.
Or use a 19.
Or you can use a 19mm open wrench. So it's already loose. So you want to go ahead and just loosen it up. Okay, so the nut's loose already. You want to get it past this piece. Because that's where it connects the line and the nut meet together to close up. But anyways, when you connect the wrench, a crescent wrench or an open-ended 19mm wrench, you want to turn clockwise. So turn it clockwise, and that's to loosen it, and then counterclockwise to tighten it up. But from this point on, we're gonna be using. I'm gonna be using my little 1/8 and an E8 socket. This is gonna be the E8. Now you need this socket to take off the 3 bolts on top. These 3 bolts. When you're loosening these bolts, you want to quarter turn each of them at the same time, or yeah, turn all of them a quarter turn by well, how would you say, give each nut a chance to have a quarter turn, because if you just turn this one all the way off, you'll put too much stress on one of them and you end up breaking one of these studs. And I don't know how much they are, but you'll break them and you're gonna have to find a way to get one, because you don't want that to happen at all. But once you do that, you do each of them at the same time, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, until until the screws are out, basically. Alright, so we took it out. It's gonna be pretty difficult for you guys to take it out. On his, it was difficult to take out. So you want to kind of like pull it out this way, kind of give it some twist action, and then as you're twisting it and whatnot, you want to pull it out. It's gonna take some elbow grease to get this out. Mine, it was nice and easy. It actually just slipped out on its own, easier. And the reason why it takes a little longer, in my opinion, is because of this hole here. There's a little adapter piece that sits right in there to have it aligned properly, and I believe that's the reason why it does that. So as you're taking it out, just do what I said, just kind of wiggle it around and then pull it as you're doing it, and it'll pop out. But if you have oil or whatnot, that's okay. It's just to keep the seal lubricated. And we're gonna go ahead and take this out. I'll go ahead and show you what you're gonna use. Alright guys, so I ended up forgetting my impact. So Jeff just got here with his speed. The camera's dead though.
Because I put a quart and it was
Yeah, you're
perfect.
good. Yeah.
And then I just put a little bit more
Alright guys, so
to top it off.
when you're taking this off,
First, say hi, Jeff.
What's up, dude? How you too?
I'm pretty good.
You're low on battery.
I know.
Hurry up.
Fucking, oh shoot, I'm not supposed to cut. Sorry. Okay, so you're gonna have it like this. The stock one's gonna be sitting like that. You're gonna have these two little, get closer. You're gonna have these two little clips here, kinda, that hold it in place. And the way you would do it is you pull it up, and it'll slide this shaft out a bit. As you do that, you have the ability to move this around and get these off. So you pull up, the shaft goes up, and then you'll be able to take these off. As you take those off, this slides off. This you're gonna reuse. This spring you're gonna reuse on the Autotech. I know Cobb's or Corksport, they actually include a spring on theirs, but you're gonna be reusing the spring for the Autotech, and then the shaft you just push it down, and it'll just slide right out, just like that. But you use the Autotechs, you don't want to, you know, switch them out or confuse them. So we want to put this on the side. So we want to slide these out because it has it just like the stock ones. Okay, so we have the replacement, the new ones that we're going to put in. So you want to lubricate the shaft and then go ahead and slide it in this way. So you have a perspective, it's going to be like this, slide it in with this big notch on the bottom. And then just slide it right in there. And then the spring is going to go over that notch, or I mean in between or over the shaft. And then this big end goes inside, just like that, just like so. And then you put this piece on top with these little holding clamps, I guess you could call them. Now they have like some sort of a smaller groove on the bottom end. You want to put that on the bottom. So you put them on both sides. As soon as you have it somewhat lined up, you want to go ahead and push down. You're going to be hearing a click once you do that. This is the hard part. I can't stand this. Alright, let me get these on and then I'll go back to you guys, or get back to you guys. Alright guys, so I ended up putting them in there. Get closer to this. So I put it in there, and now you're going to want to go ahead and push down until you hear like a click.
This thing has a pretty good quality.
It's decent. I didn't even hear it click.
You got it earlier.
I did?
When you first pushed them down.
Oh, okay. Well, it should be like that. Nice and, I guess you have flush. Try and get the correct, like the right line. There you go, right there. And then again, so you guys can know, this fatter part goes in, and then the skinnier part out, and then that's it. You just want to go ahead from this point, just put it back in. And before you put it back in, get some oil. We have like some whatever, you know, 5W30 oil, and then lubricate the seal. Seal around this piece, and then the shaft. I already lubricated the shaft before I put everything together. So
lube the shaft.
Yeah, lubed it. And there you go. Just gonna lube everything up because I just like to lube. So you want to go ahead and screw it on nicely and evenly.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, dude. Just so you guys know, it turns out that he already had Autotech fuel pump internals. So
I didn't know.
we're just gonna put the new ones in so we can have some new ones. Or a new one. New freaking
That money
internal.
could have went to an Accessport.
Yeah, could have. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's it. That's it. Alright, so. Okay, once again, thanks Jeff for letting us use your impact, man. Mazdaspeed family all the way, dude.
Mazdaspeed family.
So you want to go ahead and just tighten it all the way.
A vice is preferred. But if not, use a...
Yeah, vice is preferred, guys. We don't have one, so we're just gonna use a handy dandy hand. So I just tighten it up all the way, just by hand, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a, what is it?
Just give it like... There you go.
And that's it. Now we have that done. Now it's time to put everything back together. This thing where you took everything off. So let's go ahead and do that.
Stop it.
Alright, so the way I did the fuel pump is that I tighten each one of them, you know, one at a time. Keep it, you know, keep each of them, you know, give it each a turn. I just got stuck there, but keep each of these a turn until they start getting snug. So on the bottom, it'll start aligning with the line when you keep on giving each of these a turn. Oops. Yeah. So if that makes sense, just keep giving each of them a quarter turn until it starts, you know, sealing up and going in snug, and then that nut should align with the top piece on the pump, and then from there, once you have this whole entire assembly back up and screwed in, you want to give each of these a quarter turn until they're tight enough and sealed properly. Right here. Put the light right here. Yeah, sealed properly right here. And then to put this blue line back on, you want to put the light this way. Let's see. Okay, so this you pull out, and then as you're pulling out, you push this whole thing in, and then let it go, and then pull up, and it should be locked in. Now the yellow tab, it's a lot trickier. You want to put the light right here. Sorry guys, I had to use the phone because my camera died. Okay, so you want to go ahead and just give the flathead a little pry. Just twist it until you see the little legs right here pop up that way, and then it's gonna take some time, but you sit it in and then you push on it.
Can't get a good angle right here.
Just come over here, though. Point the camera right here. And there you go. This one's a little trickier than the other one, but to make sure that it's locked in there, you'll really want to pull up as hard as you could, and it's locked in. It's locked in just like that. You put the connector back on. You just want to put everything back on. I'm not sure. From here, you just put that back on, the lines back on, locked in place. Then you gotta get your inlet pipe that connects to the turbo on the back and connect that. And then yeah, same thing, just put everything back together. So we'll go ahead and skip this part and have you guys do that on your own. And hopefully you guys were able to do this and it was helpful for you guys. Alrighty, so it's the next day. My phone and my camera died, so I wasn't able to record the last step, you should say. So basically, before you turn your car on,
you want to go ahead and do something called priming. So what that is basically what you do is you gotta turn the car on to the on position, but do not turn the car on itself or start the car. Let me see here. So you want to go ahead and do this. That's it. Do not turn the car on. Now if your Mazdaspeed has a key, it's the same process. Just put it to the on position for a few times. You want to go ahead and do this about 3 to 6 times. I did it 6 times every single time I've done a buddy's car. So there's that. And as you're doing this step, you want to go ahead and check your pump and see if there's anything leaking. So you might want to have like a buddy with you or someone, a family member, doing this as you're checking it. And then when you turn it on, once you're done doing the priming step, you want to just turn it on, and you want to go ahead, if you have an Accessport, you want to go ahead and check your fuel pressure. Now I recommend you guys get your Accessport first before you do the pump. That way you have the ability to see your pressure, because it's going to be very difficult to see if you put it in properly or not without this. But anyways, you want to have the high pressure fuel pump actual pressure. This is the one you want to have, okay? So make sure you read this and make sure you have this display on your Accessport. Now you should be around 400, and this is fine. Right now I'm still at a cold start, so I just want to turn it on so you guys can see. But this should be like 400s, 500. But on the normal idle, it's around 430ish. But it'll be doing this, but it's around 430. So yeah, again, I recommend you guys get an Accessport before you get your internals. That way you're able to see this. Because if you did it wrong, or if something didn't go right, you won't know. But anyways, guys, I hope this actually helped you guys out. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you. And yeah, the next video should be coming out pretty soon. It's actually a video of Auto Enthusiast Day, so that's gonna be pretty cool. I'll see how that comes out, and hopefully finish that quick as I can. And thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting, I guess you could say. Bye.